Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna know all the information on that. Or.
Thank you. Yeah. And what do you do on it? Turf it over to special district as well.
Actually, that's true.
I know, it's not special district.
All right.
Yeah, we can use this.
I don't have to sit there. Out of the way. Anyway, my name's Ellie Wynn. I am working here at City of Exeter part-time as the operation manager at City of Grants, right grants. On after some more months. So we have an opportunity to go after the California Clean Grant. She offered to do this for us. She's from Tulare County Association of Governments, which is TCAG. They do measure R in town. That's my former employer. I spent 22 years there, so I know how they operate and work. And so I was able to grab Sheila and with the blessing of the director of TCAG, help us write this grant. And we're going to go after a pretty heavy grant. It's going to go after $5 million, I think, on this one, which is huge for our little town of Exeter. So we're gonna do a community meeting. We want to get your guys' input, ideas, and I think she's gonna have you do a little charrette, which is with why these boards are out, and you guys can get in groups and some more ideas. Everything is on the table. But we're just to give you an idea what we started with was looking at this back alley. We slapped this thing together last year, but we were just couldn't get it put together fast enough to get it out there. So we have start with the alley. We're looking at the jailhouse, something to do with that. Of course, all the lighting in downtown is slowly evaporating because we can't get parks for anything. So we're looking at replacing those lighting. Lighting is not cheap, and this is an opportunity to do it. The purpose of Clean California is to improve the corridors, transportation, really cleaning up garbage corridors and the garbage. And you see as you go to the west side, they've worked a lot of cleaning that up. A lot of that money is coming out of the California Clean California grant. They're doing a bunch in Fresno. It has some rules and some regulations you got to follow and abide by, and I'll let Sheila kind of explain some of that to you. But she's going to be our primary point person who is actually dealing with the staff to do that. So we're grateful to them to do that. And I'm going to help her most I can because I'm only part-time and I'm going to keep it that way. So, Sheila, thank you for coming.
One point of clarification too, you may have seen, you've seen probably 5 million and 3 million in certain places. What happened was originally it was out there of 5 million, but then they did a webinar to go through with everybody that might be applying, and they told everybody no 3 million. So then the number was 3 million, but then after that, now they come back and said, no, you could probably go after 5 million. So if you've seen it bounce back and forth, that's what happened. Is based on the information that we were getting from the folks that are doing the grant, and there was some back and forth with the number on that.
Okay, and real quick, if you guys could, we'll send this around. You guys can just put your name and your email. You don't have to tell us where you live or anything. Just give us your email so we can maybe have a public meeting. The reason why we have these public meetings is because we score higher. We score a lot higher when the points, when they start looking at the whole state as a whole, our city will score up and will stand up a little bit higher. So that's why we do that. So I'll send this around. You guys can fill it out. And I'll let you go.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So I'm Sheila, I'm from TCAG, and this meeting is also really important. Aside from scoring higher, it is a very competitive grant that's statewide. This is a community grant where it really is driven from what the community is really looking for to beautify and make our places better. So getting your input is really critical to really form and scope this project. So we just wanted to hear a few ideas from you all of what you would like to see in your community. We have a few already with the jailhouse and the street lights, but so I wanted to just give you a quick background on this. So your ideas are definitely very important. So let me just give you a quick background on Clean California. Oh, before I do that, we are live streaming this because we have the technology too. So people can't make this meeting then we'll have a video recording of it and we'll put it on CAG's YouTube site. But before we do that, I wanted to know if I would have the permission verbally from you guys to allow the camera to face you. Is there anyone opposed to that? You, okay. Okay, you don't want it, okay. Okay.
I can always go out. or
No,
something.
actually, do you mind coming to sit here, maybe? Sure. Yeah, so that way they, then, yeah. Oh, actually. Thank you. Okay, perfect.
Maybe we move the screen a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so yeah, welcome everyone. So we're excited to start our community meeting to discuss our Clean California proposal for the city of Exeter. To give you just a brief background, this is Clean California is coming from Caltrans, the Department of Transportation. Developed a Clean California local grant program through which funds will go to local communities like this to beautify and improve local streets and roads, tribal lands, parks, pathways, and transit centers. Through the combination of adding beautification measures and art in public spaces, along with removal of litter and debris, this effort will enhance communities and improve spaces for walking and recreation. The goals of the Clean California grant program are fourfold. One, it's to reduce the amount of waste, debris within public rights of way, pathways, parks, transit centers, and other public spaces. Two, to enhance, rehabilitate, restore, or install measures to beautify and improve public spaces and mitigate the urban heat island effect. Three, enhance public health, cultural connection, and community placemaking by improving public spaces for walking and recreation. And lastly, advance equity for underserved communities. So these are the four principles of the grant. I wanted to show you a quick video on another community that was funded last year and what they did, so we can kind of get some inspiration of what we would like to do for our community here. Do you mind playing the video?
What is this? It's the Rio Dale.
Yeah.
Clean California grant.
I think you were really
excited that the city was awarded.
Here, I can do it, I can check. Okay.
Got it.
No, it's the other one first. Other tab. Yeah, no, it's on the same one. Sorry.
Great.
Okay, so yeah, that's just a brief example of some of the things that the community of Del Rio did with the trail. And I just wanted to show another video, follow-up video about that. Okay.
The city submitted a 2 Clean California grant. I'm very excited to announce that the city was awarded both grants. The total amount of the grants is very close to about $2.5 million.
First, I want to just thank Governor Newsom and Caltrans for making this available to us for the award. We are so grateful. We're super excited. The projects that we were awarded, one is a non-motorized trail that will go from the southern end to the center of Rio Dale. It will showcase our river. And we'll have monuments along the way describing different aspects of the river.
It will connect two parts of the city that are kind of hard to get to by foot or bicycle right now because of the freeway. Kind of divides the access to these 2 points.
This is an opportunity for the community to access the river. With the pandemic, we've become really aware of how important outdoor experiences are. And having these experiences close to home is really important.
Right now, it's overgrown.
You have an illegal dumping problem down here. It's a problem for the river.
There'll be more people, so I will make for a safer experience.
We also have the Gateway project, and that'll be on our main drag, Wildwood Avenue, and we will be doing trees, drought-resistant greenery.
There is a plan to put exercise equipment in at Memorial Park, and so this would be another opportunity to get out and meet each other and exercise together.
At the heart of community is being able to experience where you live. This benefits not only us, but the future generations.
The Gateway and the Riverwalk as well will bring the community together, something that we can all be proud of. It's going to be tremendous.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, that's an idea. Thank you. An example of a different community of what they did.
Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for being here. My name is Miles Cochran. I'm a public information officer for Caltrans District 1.
Okay,
I muted it, but it's still
So-
playing.
so for our community here in Exeter, we would definitely love to, I'm here to help create a grant proposal that we're proud of in this community. And so one of the ideas I have been hearing from Eddie and, everyone is rehabilitating the jailhouse, which is right behind us. So we went over to Kingsburg and we wanted to get your feedback if this is something that you would like to do with those grant funds. So they rehabilitated it. Inside, there's like mannequins, a replication of maybe what was there before. And this mural outside is escaping, yeah. So at the end, maybe you can take the survey, well, yeah. This is, so yeah, so I have a few ideas. Do people have technology here, like they can easily get onto maybe we'll do this towards the end, actually. To do the survey idea. So one of the main things is the street lights, I know that have been an issue. So this is a picture as is, and with these fundings, we can get new street lighting, LED with new poles. And so I wanted to get an idea of what type of, one of the questions on the survey online, which when at the end of this, if you can all go and fill out the survey, that would really help with the grant application. It's figuring out like what type of style of street lighting the community would like to have. And just the more participation we have, the more of a community when we decide together, it just, helps us make us feel more proud of the community. So these are just simple styles. They're just really basic ones. This is like a gas lamp style. We can, or, the place could do like a twin, head style. There's like poles, which is a little bit more modern. Or as is. So I'm curious what type of feel you're interested in. So that's all in the survey.
Question, is this, it's just a downtown thing, because all I'm looking at downtown, I'm thinking more of like a city thing, is this like a tourist spot, we're just trying to, make attractive, or, I mean, what is the, I came a little late, so I don't know if you mentioned anything, I'm sorry.
So let me go to the website here, actually. Yeah, let me the boundaries are right here actually for the street lights.
I mean, because the only alley I can think of downtown is just
So this is the survey, and that's the website. So if everyone can, at the end of this meeting, after we're done breaking out, and then breaking out into little charrettes, I would like you guys to write down a few ideas of what you would like. Maybe in like groups of 3, we can do that for about 10-15 minutes. And then at the end of that, to fill out the survey. So the boundary is kind of like this here. It's, I don't have the streets though,
You
but
should be able to add a layer
yeah.
at the bottom.
So this is the 6 blocks of, I believe, Eddie, right, of all the
Yeah.
lights within this that we want to replace.
Basically between Palm and Maple, right?
Yeah, reason why we chose this 6 blocks was. The lights are all in that 6 blocks area. And those are our biggest challenge as a city right now is the lights are currently they're going out. Maybe you can't get parts from them. So either it's gonna come out of the city's pocket or it's gonna come out of a grant of some sort to be able to replace those lights. And it's rare that you get an opportunity to have the lights actually replaced. Most of them come out of the general fund. So this gives you an opportunity to go and have these whole thing project encompassed as one unit. And you look at each of the alleyways. Specifically, because you got trash containers on each of these alleyways. Some of them look better than others. The one right behind there's a lot of foot traffic that runs through here on Thursday nights. And there's also a lot of traffic that runs back and forth between Main Street and Palm. So you got an opportunity there to improve this little bit of corridor using these funds. Hiding those trash containers, receptacles, just to organize those a little bit better. So they're not such if you look at that, the trash behind there's quite a bit of opportunity to clean that up. So
A little more explanation on the streetlights. Outside of this area, the streetlights are owned by Southern California Edison. And we work with them on, trying to let them know we got streetlights out, things like that, but they maintain them, they own them, they maintain them. And we pay a rate to them for doing that. Within this area, the city owns the streetlight system. And in there we've got some, they're not the standard streetlight, they're more decorative for the downtown. And what's happened is they've deteriorated over the years since they've been put in, and you can't get replacement parts from the manufacturer anymore. So every time a street light goes out now, it's out, and we can't do anything to get it back going again. We can't even get LED bulbs to fit in them when the globes or anything anymore because they don't have any parts that convert or replace. So that's the reason for the focus on this area for the street lighting. Is because of that. These are the city-owned streetlights in the downtown that we're trying to get back upgraded to something nice, consistent, that's lit up over the whole area. We have a lot of the lights downtown that are out right now.
How many streetlights are there in the 6 block radius?
What you said the city?
32, I believe.
And the 32 and 6 block.
Let's see, there's 32 on Pine. Combined.
48, I think.
How many?
48.
And those all need to be replaced?
They're going out pretty quick. I took some pictures during the Christmas season and
Here's what happened. We got something for my cars. So we're gonna have to replace the whole pole. So we can go get individual poles and put in, but they're not gonna match the other ones. So you're gonna have a hodgepodge of street light poles all over the downtown.
Do you have any idea out of the $5 million budget, what it would cost just for you streetlights?
Not yet. We're going to be working on that, but before we go to that level, we wanted to just kind of also hear your ideas because we think that that it's a major issue, and so the survey does talk about that. But
And the grant does not cover ongoing maintenance. It would just cover the replacement. It can get awarded. And I'm presuming these newer lamps are more energy efficient and they probably won't cost the city quite as much to run, correct?
You have LED lights, they only last longer than your other types of lights, that kind of thing. So it would be, headed even in a better direction for our ongoing maintenance.
Can we
compared
make
to
sure
what
we get streetlights that can be replaced?
Well, now, and here's what, therein lies one of your challenges here. The more standard one you put in, the looking one, the more likely you're gonna have replacement parts. The more unique they are, the more chance you have of that not being the case in a number of years. What we found, and I will tell you, the other cities here in the valley have run into the exact same thing. I've had it in my city, they just got through replacing theirs. The entire 14 years I worked at my city, we were trying to figure out how to get them replaced. They finally got to it just recently. So that's 18 years later at a minimum, or more like 25 years in the making. But the issue is the more individual signage you get, there's one manufacturer. If they go out of business, there's no replacement parts. So there's where your challenge lies, is the more standard you make it, the more replaceable for longer it can probably be. But the more stylish you want to make it, the bigger chance you have of it getting to this point at some time in the future.
And the longer they last, then we run the risk of the technology changing and we can't find replacement parts for them anyway, right?
You can, usually the manufacturer will update with the technology, so you get conversion kits and things. But there's no manufacturer here for the one we've got right now, so we can't even get that to get the LEDs.
And would a conversion kit be included in the initial purchase price, or is that after the fact?
It'd be after the fact typically, because right at this point, they wouldn't even know what that looks like until it gets here, so they don't know what it knows. So anyway, a little background on the streetlights. To answer your question, that's the reason for the focus on this area.
Okay, okay.
Right.
Or like, oh, when I think of alleys, I think of, oh, but we definitely need lights in our alleys,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and we've been talking to Edison, and there's some things we want to, at some point, we're trying to start working on and fill in some of the areas we know, even outside of this area, but those are all Edison owned, and that happens through a different mechanism.
Okay, great.
So Adam, in your preliminary meeting before this, you guys kind of had or created a list of projects that would match Exeter and match this grant, because you've already have been very detailed about the lighting. So do we have availability to that tick list that you guys have, or are we just gonna go over that?
That's what the point of this meeting is. So aside from the streetlights, if everyone can get onto their phone actually, and take a few minutes to fill this out, it actually lists some of the other things that this grant can pay for, which is murals or exercise equipment or shade or trees or doing something for the dog park. There's different things that can help with really making your community really proud, a proud place to be in with public art. And so the survey will have some of those questions. You can take a few minutes to do that. And in addition to that, I would like to have everyone break out into 3 different groups. I think there's about 12 people here. So 12 divided by, into 3 different groups with the boards, and write down in your group of just a few ideas of what you would like to see from this grant. And then I would like to collect those papers to help with the next step.
The answer to your question, Vicki, that's exactly what staff tried to do, to get a running start with this. Looking at the grant, looking at previous projects that got the money that were awarded, over other projects. Tried to look at that and throw a bunch of things together that would fit in that to get a running start for this group, to look at and start giving us ideas and thoughts of what you might look at.
So in that tick list, did you include the city park with water, splash pad, the city pool? Was any of that included?
No, I don't know that you would get that. Again, this is a beautification grant, not necessarily improvements like that.
Okay.
There are potentially other issues too with water features because of the whole GSA things that are going on and where we're at with water. So there are some potential issues with those. So those are some of those.
So you'll include those restrictions as we make our discussions.
Yeah. I mean, we've avoided the city so far as a bunch. We've been approached by Kiwanis and different folks about doing potentially a splash pad. The issue with the GSA is there is no guarantee in a few years that those won't be where you can't use them, where you can put a lot of money into them and then can't use them, and that wouldn't be good And depending on who puts the money in, like these grant programs, sometimes you're required to keep them maintained
Yeah.
and go on for a certain period of time. If the GSA eliminates them, they're in trouble with the grant.
Well, Sheila mentioned water or parks, and so that was my immediate thought.
All right, yes.
Quick question, the survey, is it only applicable to those here at the meeting, or is it for the general public to take at some point?
Well, it's for anyone that lives in the city of Exeter or near the city of Exeter. Yeah,
It can be on our website.
yes,
That's what I was gonna ask, if that's something you would like our help into.
Yes,
Yeah, communicate.
more than put the veteran and the other projects and ideas you have, go ahead and put them out there so we know about them.
and I can also change the survey
Yeah.
to the questions based on kind of what we discuss in this group. I can easily change it. I just created a set of basic questions to kind of get an idea of what we want to do for the proposal. And then at the end of this, if you have a particular question, you can write it down. So yeah, so I guess, is it okay if everyone breaks into groups of 3 different groups and just huddle around different, yes. But
What is the timeline for getting this?
the grant is due in April. There's a hard deadline, 5 p.m. on April, on a day in April. I'll have to find out.
You have to present something in February too, though, the preliminary.
No, there's nothing in February.
I
Yeah.
thought at TCAG there was a date.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to stop the live streaming now. So that way